Welcome to another edition of The Ride Home with John and Kathy, live from the Salem Pittsburgh studios. And now here are your hosts, John Hall and Kathy Emmons.
Seriously, I have tied down all unsecured objects.
I've just never heard such a concern about loose objects in a weather forecast.
I think it's every day this week.
I don't
right?
know.
Has it been particularly windy? I don't know.
Are things looser than they have been in the past?
Here it comes. Yeah, there it is, right? I don't know. We just want to, as a public service, we just want to let you know. I guess things are going to get windy out there. I don't know what the heck's going on.
I mean, how windy would they have to be to make that a major point of order?
Like, the tornado in The Wizard of Oz, perhaps. Hey, last night, did you see there was a meteor flying over the city? Mm-hmm.
No, I did not know that.
Yeah, there was around 7:30. A little cloudy last night, but apparently 700 phone calls to authorities saying, what was that flying in the sky? So a meteor flew over 11 states and then into Canada. Would you get out of here?
Did we know that was coming?
No.
Okay.
It's meteor.
Okay. If it was a meteor, you don't know what's going on.
Hey, what's going on?
I'm not nearly as good on the space stuff as you are.
I mean, maybe that was like the windy object the guy's been talking about all this time.
Maybe that's why it's so windy.
Could be, yeah. Because things are falling from the heavens. How are you? Happy Friday to you.
Is it too early for me to tell you?
It's never too early.
Your weekend has begun.
Fabulous. Woo! 6 minutes past. Thank you, sir. 6 minutes past the 4 o'clock hour.
I wonder what our fan's going to do this weekend.
Yeah, really. Rest his vocal cords, perhaps.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's all is right and well on a Friday afternoon, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Very, very nice. Excellent. All right, you got plans?
I do have plans, but I can't talk about them.
All right, that's fine. Don't bring it up.
I can't. But I do have plans. Do you have plans?
We're going to the movies tonight.
Oh, to see?
Some Ralph Fiennes.
Oh, The Menu.
Yes.
Yeah. Voldemort meets the kitchen.
I look forward to it. Going to the movies. Have a little something to eat beforehand.
Oh, really? Going to go out somewhere?
Yeah.
Where are you going to go?
I don't know. Find out when we get home.
I'm excited.
Talk about it. What do you want to do? Yeah, what do you feel like? Yeah.
Coming up on today's show, we have the Weekend Review in the 5 o'clock hour. We'll be talking about the real St. Nicholas at 5:10. Yep. Also, the world's oldest tortoise, Jonathan, makes a return appearance to the ride home. I mean, not in person, though that would be very cool.
Nice,
We're going to talk about him. At the bottom of this hour, this or that. And I have a couple news items I'd like to share also.
Very nice. All right.
It's just a little smattering.
Yeah, well, for a Friday show.
Of what there is to come.
A smattering. That's a nice word, isn't it?
I haven't used it much. I think I miss it.
All right, well, bring that up as part of your vocabulary training. A smattering. We have a smattering of news stories, as we always do, Kath. So please, without further ado, give us the smattering of the top 4 at 4.
For Friday, December 2nd, John, 2022.
Lovely.
As nationwide protests in China signal the end of public compliance with the government's zero COVID policy, a piece at the Wall Street Journal today looks at why the country, and by the country, not this one, that one, is so unprepared for a major surge in infections.
How can they?
A recent study found that lifting the restrictions now could result in upwards of 2 million deaths in China.
Come on.
Okay,
What?
you want to know why?
Tell me.
In the time that lockdowns could have bought Chinese officials time to bolster China's healthcare system, investments in hospital capacity and medical treatments actually slowed down. While authorities were busy conducting mass tests and building quarantine centers, China's vaccine drive also stalled. Fewer than 60% of Chinese have had a booster shot, including only 40% of those age 80 and over.
What? What's the deal here?
Because they've been putting all their energies to doing
Keep people locked up.
Right, doing the lockdown instead of helping people to figure out.
So no natural immunity and no shots if you wanted one.
Yep.
Probably not want one, probably required to get one, right?
So according to today's dispatch, now with virus outbreaks setting records and protesters taking to the streets, experts say China isn't any better prepared for a serious healthcare emergency than it was 3 years ago.
Holy smokes. Come on now.
I know. Number 2. India is set to overtake Japan and Germany to become the world's 3rd largest economy.
Really? India?
How about that? That's according to S&P Global and Morgan Stanley.
Japan and Germany.
Really? CNBC reports S&P's forecast that is based on the projection that India's annual nominal gross domestic product growth will average 6.3% through 2030. The country posted a record 20% year-on-year growth in the 3 months June 2021 and after.
I wonder what we're buying. We're buying clothes, probably, right?
Right.
Textiles. But I wonder what India is exporting
I'm not sure.
to the world.
I'm not sure. I was really surprised to read that, which is why I made it one of the top 4s, John.
Very nice, thank you.
Here's one I wish I didn't have to include. Number 3, 2 University of Pittsburgh students are accused of inappropriately touching corpses in their anatomy class.
What?
2 people who I'm not going to name on the air were charged yesterday with abusing a corpse in connection with the incident, which took place in Pitt's Victoria Hall on November 4th. Pitt police said multiple witnesses observed that. I won't go into the details. Pitt said in a statement that it is committed to upholding the dignity of and respect for all donors whose selfless acts of giving enhance and enrich education. Pitt also said it's working with the relevant organizations regarding family notifications. And that is a sad, sad story.
I wonder what track you're on. So an anatomy class early on for...
Pre-med.
Right.
PT, OT. That's really, really
what do you say
a shame.
about that?
So let's lighten the mood, John. Number 4, a judge has agreed to let TGI Fridays off the hook in a class action lawsuit that claimed that Fridays branded mozzarella sticks are misleading because they contained no mozzarella. And that is your top 4.
Now, a mozzarella stick, I could take it or leave it.
Me too.
My kid loves, my oldest, he lives for a mozzarella stick.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I think it's certainly not a healthy choice.
No, no. If you know my kid, healthy
really
choices is not the top.
that.
But the mozzarella stick, with like a little marinara sauce on the side.
Yeah. Amy Joseph claims the product is misbranded and misleading.
What's in there? Sawdust.
Well, we're not really sure about that yet.
Because I think about, I say sawdust because remember a couple of years ago, the people who selling Parmesan cheese, like, your shakeable
the
spaghetti.
shakeable stuff. Yeah, there's no Parmesan cheese in there either.
A percentage of it, sorry, there was sawdust. I think about that every time I have spaghetti.
Really?
That's sawdust, please.
That's really upsetting. Anyway, so mozzarella sticks might not... No, this is funny. I like this. She claimed the product was misbranded because she ordered a 6-pack of the product on Amazon last year, mistakenly believing the sticks would contain mozzarella.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, right.
Which is what you'd think of based on the label.
Sure. Also, TGIF, the brand, they're selling product.
Right.
I see. When's the last time you were... TGIF.
I mean, I can't think of the last time.
Because it is Friday. This is the day to go.
Yes. Now, let me also say, this is from USA Today, that attorneys for the food company have said that this woman is a serial class action plaintiff who has filed numerous suits in Illinois over the last decade and argued that she just cherry-picked one part of the product's labeling. I mean, I feel like that's the most important part.
I mean, it is a mozzarella stick. Mozzarella is the key word here.
We'll be following that story and we'll get that right back to you.
Mozzarella update. All right, we'll take a quick break. When we do come back, play ball. We're going to talk about that next. It's The Ride Home, Friday edition. Pittsburgh's Christian Talk here on Word FM.
101.5 WORD.
Your station for unlimited grace with Brian Chappell.
If he hadn't said, Lazarus come forth, all the people who were dead would have come forth. By the way, that's just precisely what Paul says will happen in 1 Thessalonians 4, right? Jesus will descend with the trumpet call and the shout of an archangel, and all the dead in Christ will what? Rise again.
Unlimited Grace with Brian Chappell, tonight at 11 on 101.5 WORD.
Did you know that most adults with autism are unemployed, and a major hurdle is the lack of job opportunities? Well, that's about to change, thanks to a new initiative from Autism Speaks, Lee Container, the J. Donald and Laurel Lee Family Foundation Fund, and Delivering Jobs, that seeks to create a more inclusive workforce in the U.S. Lee Container is a family-owned business that has found success by staying true to the golden rule: treat others as you would want to be treated. There are hundreds of thousands of people with autism and people with intellectual or developmental differences who are ready and willing to work in our communities. Our coalition is committed to hiring an inclusive workforce, providing training for hiring professionals, and providing guidelines for all employees. Together, we can create a workforce where people of all abilities can contribute and thrive. Will you join us? We are inviting other businesses, institutions, and community community leaders to join in. To learn more, please visit autismspeaks.org/employment.
Hi, my name's Adam Barada. I'm the owner of Advantage Gold, the highest rated precious metals firm in the country. Now, we've won the Best of TrustLink award 4 years in a row because we educate our clients on how to buy gold and silver the right way. We don't pay celebrity spokespeople millions of dollars. We'd rather pass that value on to you. Call 800-900-8000 and speak with one of our experts. We'll send you a free gold kit along with my latest national best-selling book, The Great Devaluation. Call 800-900-8000. Call 800-900-8000.
Where do holiday happenings take over every aisle? Lowe's, actually. Experience the magic of Winterfest at Lowe's and save on gifts like a Craftsman 243-piece mechanics tool set valued at over $600 if purchased separately, now for only $99. Give the gift of tech this season with a Ring Video doorbell at an everyday low price of $99.99. Explore the festivities of Winterfest at Lowe's, home to any possibility. Offer valid through 12/7 while supplies last.
The Christmas Mortgage Miracle is back and bigger than ever.
For 5 years, the Christmas Mortgage Miracle has made it possible for you to win next year's mortgage or rent.
This year, we've raised the grand prize to $18,000.
To pay for next year's mortgage or rent. Increase your opportunity to win when you enter up to once per day and complete optional bonus tasks.
Trinity Jewelers presents the Christmas Mortgage Miracle Sweepstakes. Enter today at wordfm.com.
This is a great time of year if you're a sports fan, isn't it? I mean, college football is like...
I have been enjoying it a lot.
I look forward to every weekend now. I really do. I try not to stay stuck in front of the TV set because I know there are other pressing matters that require my attention.
Right.
But, man, I love sports. And I often, although it is a mixed bag, I do love sports. When you see players profess their faith on the field, it's cool, but it also kind of could be a little tingy of cringeworthiness.
Yeah, I do get cringy when, someone hits a home run and they're like, thank you, God. Now,
Not really?
Here's the thing. I appreciate if they are thanking God.
Yeah.
But no one strikes out. And
thanks God. I get that.
So it gives the impression that God's on your side when you
do good,
and then he's
not so much
he's not around when things go badly, which is just
no. But your joy and enthusiasm, you're more apt to give thanks whenever you're super pumped, right?
But
I don't know. What is the theology?
That's not the best example there.
It's not. Michael Betrus joins us. He's a student at Texas A&M University School of Law, and he wrote a piece at the Gospel Coalition that we loved called "Play Ball." Hey, Michael, welcome to the show.
Hi, John and Kathy. Thank you so much for having me.
Sure. Happy to have you. So you're a baseball player. What's your position?
In college at OU, I pitched, and now I'm a retired athlete, but still continue that through softball, which is a fun time.
Excellent.
Good. I like that.
Yeah. Okay. So, Michael, talk to us about the piece. I mean, there you were on a team, and a buddy of yours reached out to talk about one thing, but it became a conversation about faith, yeah?
Right. So I had just joined the team, and it had been a month or two, and I'd been praying throughout the summer about how to make an impact on the team. I'd led a high school Bible study for my baseball team, and I thought that would be, my college pastor and I had talked about how that would be a great opportunity, but I hadn't kind of seen how that would fall into place yet. And a buddy had called me late at night for help on our economics homework, and after a long time of him, after us doing the homework, he said he'd been looking through my Instagram, and he said, "You're a big Jesus guy, aren't you?" And he asked me a bunch of different questions about, primarily, I would say, the ethics of the faith, but also the gospel. And then afterwards, I got to ask him about what he believed, and I shared the gospel with him, and we had a long conversation. And he said, "I want everyone on the team to hear what you have to say." And the next day, he went to one of our coaches, who also happened to be a strong believer, and asked if I could lead a Bible study for the team in the locker room. And that's how it all got started.
I mean, that is so cool. First of all, that you make yourself available as an athlete and as a student to proclaim yourself as a believer on social media. A lot of guys couldn't or wouldn't do that. And then someone calls about a homework assignment, and it turns into really a moment of, it could be redemption in Jesus Christ. Talk about that. I mean, that guy, that buddy of yours, he was as bold as you were in some ways, and that he made the ask. He could have just been, he could have slunk away. But the two of you together, there was a powerful moment there. For
sure. I think he was easily just as bold going to the coaches, asking for a Bible study time. And I think you touched on a key point there, which was about academics and being available, because I think a lot of athletes, even maybe Christian athletes, but a lot of athletes only want to work hard when they're motivated by athletics. And I think Christian athletes can make a particular and unique impact when we work hard off the field. And I think that sets an example that's distinct from somebody who only works hard on the field.
That's good. Okay, so then talk about, then you were essentially called out to lead a Bible study on a baseball team. How did that work? What were the mechanics like? And did people feel pressured? You know, because sometimes you think, well, if I want to be on the team and be in good standing with the coaching staff, I better be part of this. You hear stories about that. But tell us your story about the Bible study.
Right. So the mechanics were, every Monday after a long practice, we would gather in our locker room. There was no pressure to attend. In fact, with 35 to 40 people on the team, I wouldn't say we ever even had a majority of people there, but we did have a sizable amount, and there certainly wasn't pressure from the coaching. In fact, in NCAA baseball or in any sport, there's a limit on how many hours coaches can spend with the athletes, and that cap was, I think, about 20 hours per week when we started the Bible study.
I see.
And so no coaches were allowed to attend the Bible study because otherwise it would count towards those hours. So they weren't there. It wasn't pressured. But I do think a lot of athletes that were believers who wanted to come did a great job of inviting fellow teammates and welcoming them in.
Did it change how your teammates treated you?
Never in a negative way. I think that there were maybe jokes about what I would or wouldn't do ethically, but I don't think that what we do see widespread in culture nowadays is like maybe a mistreatment or misunderstanding or some sort of exclusion towards Christians in certain spaces. I never got that, and I would say for the most part the reception was very positive.
Michael Betrus is with us. He's a student at Texas A&M's University School of Law. He also co-hosts a podcast called Radically Normal, talking to him from Dallas. So, Michael, talk about how John and I started the conversation, which is how athletes are public Christians. I mean, do you ever get cringy about that? Do you feel like, how do you see that?
I agree that there is a lot of times where an athlete seems to profess faith publicly or seems to acknowledge God after a home run or a touchdown, and it doesn't seem genuine. And I do think that, like you said, it doesn't seem genuine as well if you seem extremely pouty after you strike out, but you praise God after you hit a home run. And so I think that's something noteworthy that Christians need to take to heart. At the same time, I do think that there are examples of people living out their faith on the field and people that I've known personally who do a great job. And I even think of my high school baseball coach. He was a strong believer, and whether we won or lost, no matter how he felt about the game, he would still help lead us in prayer after the games. He was a man of faith. And so I think that there are coaches and players who can do a genuinely good job at showing their faith on the field. But I do agree that at times there's people who maybe only seem to be a believer when it's a good time.
Right. Oh, I wonder about this, Michael. So there you are, you're on the mound pitching a game, and you look around you and you look at your teammates and you think, whether it's, conscious or not, you look at a guy and go, there's my brother in Christ, there's my brother in Christ, there's my brother. I mean, that's got to be a pretty cool feeling, holding the ball and playing a game.
It is a great feeling, and I think being on the field with fellow athletes who are also Christians is such a joy. I mean, you think of the passages like in 1 Corinthians 9, Paul talks about how he's running for an imperishable reward, but athletes are only running for something perishable. And so when you have a genuine common interest in something like baseball, but at the same time, you're not merely playing or living life for something transient or temporary, I think that goes a long way.
That's really good.
So when you look back on playing baseball, I mean, do you miss it? You miss that type of high-level achievement, or maybe you're doing that in softball?
Well, it's a bit different in softball. I play in a church league with a lot of great friends of mine. But
I want to respect your church league, Michael.
So I do miss baseball occasionally, and I think that it was such a great time of my life and got to meet a lot of great people and had a lot of great experiences from the time I was 4 through my time at Oklahoma.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I honestly love the world of academia. I love law school. I love my friends there. I'm married now, and so I don't feel like it's an everyday thing that I miss, and I still work out and participate in athletic things. So it comes and goes, but overall, I think it was a great period of my life.
Fabulous. Okay, so then, Michael, what I love about you, and we brought you on because of the article, is that you were bold in your faith. You reached out of, a sort of a comfort zone in some way, and talk about Jesus in a real and transparent way. So now, I'm reading about you. You're in law school. How do you see yourself as, a guy moving forward? Certainly, in the law profession, it'll be different to share your faith. We've got good friends, who are university professors and whatnot, and they share their faith. How do you, sort of chart a path forward to be so transparent and bold in your faith in a professional situation?
Right. I think it is super hard, and I think even outside the legal field, how to live out our faith in a world of vocation after college, I think is something that a lot of young adults are grappling with. I think for me personally in law school, something that's been big has been being on the leadership board of Christian Legal Society, and we host lots of events, and we meet every other week and lead a Bible study and have fellowship hangouts and things of that sort. So I think that being tied to that organization allows for me to participate naturally in the life of the school community, and also to demonstrate and show what following Jesus is about. So that's one aspect that I would definitely say comes to mind.
Excellent.
All right, Michael, final question for you. You say in your article you think that if we're not careful, we can end up watching sports like atheists. What do you mean by that? I don't think I want to do that, but I'm not sure what you mean.
What I mean is that my pastor has always said that we can enjoy something, whether it be steak or a fun activity or something else. We can enjoy it like atheists if we let the gift terminate on itself. But instead, if we enjoy sports or if we enjoy a good steak or something of that nature, and we instead say the giver of this gift is so good, then we can enjoy it as it was meant to be enjoyed. And I think that that's true with sports, whether we're a participant or we're on the sidelines watching or at home watching it on TV. And we can recognize that it's a gift from the Lord, and that if our team wins, it's a great day, and that if our team loses, we still got to participate in God's creative nature in the world and enjoy something he gave us, and it's still a good day.
Excellent. Well, Michael, we've enjoyed the time here with you. You're clean and clear and concise.
And who do you root for in baseball?
In baseball?
Yep.
In college or pro?
Pro.
Pro, the Detroit Tigers. My family's from Michigan, but I've grown up in Dallas, so I also consider myself a Rangers fan.
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
Rough year for you guys there.
It's better than the Pirates.
Rough year in Detroit and in Dallas, for sure.
Don't worry, it's been a rough 2 decades for us here in Pittsburgh.
Michael, you've chosen your profession well. Congratulations, and best of fortune as you move forward in your law career. We were excited to have you with us, and you didn't disappoint, so thanks so much.
Thank you so much for having me on. Have a great day.
You as well. The pleasure's been ours. Michael Betrus, you can look for him at the Gospel Coalition. Play Ball, the life of a student athlete, sharing their faith on the diamond and off. Take a quick break, come back. This or that coming up next. MyPillow's excited to announce the original My Slippers are back in stock. Hey, it's John Hall. Last Christmas, you made My Slippers the #1 selling MyPillow product, and now they've added smaller sizes, larger sizes, wide sizes, and all new colors. What makes My Slippers different is the exclusive 4-layer design that you're not going to find in any other slippers. My Slippers' patented layers make them ultra comfortable, extremely durable, and they help relieve the stress on your feet. Wear them anytime, anywhere, and save $90 off with promo code WORD. That's only $49.98 a pair. You'll absolutely love My Slippers, and now they're also extending their 60-day money-back guarantee until March 1st, 2023, making them the best Christmas gift ever. So go to MyPillow.com, use promo code WORD, or call 800-391-0954 now. Again, use promo code WORD to save $90 on the original My Slippers. That's only $49.98 a pair. Quantities won't last long, so please order now.
To serve as a ruling elder is a high and holy office. RPTS now offers 5 flexible online courses to help you shepherd the Church of God. The Ruling Elders program features courses on biblical counseling, interpretation, worship, the church, care and administration, plus preaching and elective options that best fit your ministry paradigm. No papers, no exams, just solid biblical teaching from experienced pastor professors. Individual and group rates available. RPTS, Study Under Pastors. Learn more at rpts.edu.
Your local radio stations are here for you. No subscriptions or monthly fees necessary. We're here to give you the news, weather, and traffic you need and the music you love. But if the foreign-owned record labels get their way, it could stop the music. They want Congress to force radio stations to pay them more money simply to play their music. Don't let radio go silent. Text LOCAL to 52886 and tell Congress to protect local radio stations. This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. I sell custom-made blinds, shades, and shutters that are easy to install at prices less than big box retailers. Blindster blinds are custom-made for your windows, and I guarantee they'll fit. Don't hire a pro. Do it yourself and save big at Blindster.com.
The Christmas Mortgage Miracle is back and bigger than ever.
For 5 years, the Christmas Mortgage Miracle has made it possible for you to win next year's mortgage or rent.
This year, we've raised the grand prize to $18,000.
To pay for next year's mortgage or rent. Increase your opportunity to win when you enter up to once per day and complete optional bonus tasks.
Trinity Jewelers presents the Christmas Mortgage Miracle Sweepstakes. Enter today at wordfm.com.
Ask Alexa to play the word Pittsburgh to hear us there. We're on your Google speaker, too. Plus iHeart, TuneIn, and on Odyssey. 101.5 WORD-FM, Pittsburgh.
It'll be cloudy tonight, becoming breezy late with a shower. Tonight's low 46. Tomorrow, a couple of morning showers, otherwise cloudy and windy. Gusty winds can blow around unsecured objects. Will reach a high of 53. Temperatures will fall, though, to the lower 40s. Clear skies tomorrow night with a low of 23. Partly sunny Sunday. Will reach a high Sunday of 38. With your AccuWeather forecast, I'm Drew Shannon.
It's time now for the Friday edition, well, the weekly edition of This or That. I've got a list. Kath has a list.
It's important and vital
that we do this or that. Yeah.
all that we're going to learn about each other in these moments.
Not a whole lot.
No, probably
it's not like a psychological.
It's probably not
profile.
important or vital.
I don't think so. Okay, so we just make a list up and we kind of choose one. This one or that one, all right? Shall I go?
I'm ready, John.
All right. A dill pickle. Sweet pickle.
Sweet pickle.
What?
Yes.
That'd be the last thing I'd ever.
I know. You know, and I love a dill.
Yeah.
But you made me pick, and it was an easy choice.
All right. Thanksgiving leftovers. Steak and baked potato.
Thanksgiving leftovers any day of the week.
An omelet. Sunny side up.
Sunny side up.
Really? Steelers at 1 p.m.
Yeah.
Steelers at 4 p.m.
4 p.m. Don't you want to nap first?
Yeah.
I
delay my gratification.
For sure.
Or pain.
Yes.
George Benson.
George Benson.
Billy Strayhorn.
Oh, that is okay. Billy Strayhorn, truly great. But I'm going to go George Benson.
Really?
Yes, I really.
Broadway.
Yeah, I love so many things about George Benson.
Yep. Friday night party. Friday night alone.
Friday night alone.
Oh my gosh. Being called mom. Being called daughter.
Oh, now what kind of question is that?
It's this or that.
Okay, I guess mom.
Okay, very good. This or that. All right. Silent prayer. Group prayer.
Oh, silent prayer.
An orange
but
crush.
I like group prayer
Yeah,
too. I like them both.
What is this or that?
Okay.
So you're sticking with the silent prayer?
I sound like I'm a real dull date so far.
She's at home alone listening to George Benson having some eggs sunny side up with a side of sweet pickles.
But you're going to pay for the mom-daughter thing.
I know.
Yeah, probably will.
And praying. Okay.
An orange crush. A Cherokee Red.
Oh, Orange Crush. A little fresher. Cherokee Red also makes your whole face that color.
Cracker Barrel, Bob Evans.
Bob Evans.
Lip balm, Vaseline.
Lip balm.
Oh.
Vaseline. Okay, wait, you mean for lips or you mean overall?
This or that. Lip balm or Vaseline?
Well, I have to pick Vaseline because it's more multi-purpose.
That's my.
Because Vaseline could become your lip balm. Did you know that?
Yeah,
so of course I'd pick Vaseline.
All right.
In the world.
Slather your whole
Wow,
self.
that was good, John.
Very good. All right.
I opened my refrigerator this morning, and I had just a little tiny bit of sweet potatoes left over from Thanksgiving. And so I thought to myself, perhaps this is the appropriate day to do the leftover edition of this or that.
Yeah, because
they don't look great in the fridge, but when you heat them up, they can really deliver.
You still got turkey left over?
No,
I
froze that.
don't want to eat that.
I froze that.
All right.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm
Number
good.
one.
Bring it.
Turkey sandwich hot or turkey sandwich cold?
Hot. Give me that hot. On bread with some mashed potatoes, big chunks of gravy, and some.
Mistake.
What?
Turkey's so much better cold than it is
it's
hot.
not. No,
it's so much more flavorful cold.
Fire it up.
Number two.
Okay.
Mason Rudolph or Mitch Trubisky?
Mitch.
Number three. The Honda Pilot you own or the Toyota Avalon you own?
Both fine vehicles. One coming back from the grave.
Both leftovers.
I'm going the Avalon.
Are you?
Oh, yeah,
of course, because how can you? Because that's a nice
that's
car.
That's a ride.
Number four. Harrison Ford or Jack Nicholson?
I'm going with Nicholson.
Really?
Yeah.
Number five. Buying sheets and towels at a yard sale or buying shoes at Goodwill?
Oh, neither. Please, neither.
This or that, people.
Jeez. All right. Sheets and towels, like with extra hot water. Yeah. Someone's shoes.
You know that's possible. That's why they have washing machines.
I guess.
Number six.
Leftovers.
Barry Manilow or Neil Diamond?
Oh. I mean, depending upon, I would,
Listen, this is not a cut. As I said, they don't look great in the fridge, but when you heat them up, they can really deliver.
Well, I don't want to see either Barry Manilow or Neil Diamond heated up. I'm just saying there. Okay. I'm going Neil Diamond.
Are you? That's probably a good choice.
Yeah.
Number seven. Arnold Schwarzenegger or Sylvester Stallone?
Listen, I was a fan of when you see Schwarzenegger in that documentary, Pumping Iron. That's a fascinating movie.
Yep.
But Stallone, I mean, Rocky, Rambo, that
Running
crazy.
out of time.
Okay,
Hurry up.
Stallone.
The Monkees or the Bee Gees?
Oh, the Bee Gees.
Thank heaven. Number 10, pumpkin pie from the refrigerator after Thanksgiving or plate of Christmas cookies on New Year's Eve?
Oh, pumpkin pie.
Yeah, because it's so good.
Best,
And for your bonus, for some unspecified office, Dr. Oz or Doug Mastriano?
Oh, for heaven's sake.
This or that, John.
.5 WORD.
Playing Pittsburgh's favorite Christian music on the weekends with the best new Christmas music.
New
music. Oh, What a King from Katie Nicole. God Made a Way from Brandon Heath and Tasha Layton. God made a way in the manger. And Christmas Time is Here from Zach Williams. Christmas time is here. The best new Christmas music.
Pittsburgh's favorite Christian music on the weekends on Word FM.
Hi, I'm Al Abaroa, founder of Knight Strategic Wealth. Inflation is a problem, markets are volatile, and the risk of running out of money in retirement is real. That's why I love annuities, and you should too. Your financial advisor doesn't want you to know that with our annuity strategy, when the stock market goes up, you earn a market-linked return that locks in every year, and when the stock market goes down, your annuity won't lose a dime. There are no unnecessary fees, and it works for your investments, money at a brokerage firm, or even money at a bank. It's simple, it's safe, and you should only invest if you learn the facts, and that's why savvy investors work with us. Want to learn more? Text FREE to 833-898-0500, and we'll send our retirement readiness kit directly to your phone right now. If you want to use safe, low-fee annuities to build a retirement portfolio that will go up with the market and never lose money, Get our retirement readiness kit today and see how this strategy can help secure your future. Text FREE to 833-898-0500. Text FREE to 833-898-0500.
If you are 65 or older, you know this. Watching your hard-earned dollars fly out the window on healthcare costs is frustrating. Well, here's something that can really help, and it's worth taking a minute to look into. MediShare 65 Plus. MediShare is a community of Christians who share each other's healthcare bills, and it really is a community too. People encourage and pray for each other. Well, MediShare 65 Plus is a low-cost option for those with Medicare Parts A and B, and it fills in the gaps where Medicare stops. It's a great way to fight inflation too. You can lock in one low monthly price for up to 10 years. And it's easy. You can use any Medicare-approved doctor or get 24/7 telehealth access from the comfort of your home. Very worth looking into during Medicare open enrollment, which ends December 7th. If you join right now, your second month share will be free. So don't miss this chance. Call 855-PSALM-32. That's 855-PSALM-32. 855-PSALM-32.
Meet Brad. Brad's hard at work, or at least his website is. Ever since he added live chat with Salem Surround, Brad's customers are getting their questions answered 24/7. Website purchases have gone up 35%, and they're over 3 times more likely to buy from him again. No bots, just real people helping real people. Live chat. One of the easiest, most affordable ways Salem Surround can increase your business while you do other things, or nothing at all. Ask us how at surroundpittsburgh.com.
I had a friend who used to say, how long until they ruin this thing? And that kind of seems like the mode for what it is to be alive in the 21st century. So this is our segment we called our Twitter likes, which, of course,
could be disbanded.
We
and
talk about just going,
fallen into the abyss.
This is crazy talk. What's
at
happened?
any time.
We used to really enjoy our time there because it was a lot of fun, but now
what in the world is happening?
Okay, so here's our likes. So this is things we've
I'll start here.
Highlighted throughout the week.
This is from Beth Moore.
All right.
Something happens to me when my full-grown daughters are sick. I revert back to when they were 5 and I talk to them annoyingly like, babe, how's your tum-tum feeling right now? And then, if I can get to them, I always make them chicken soup and give them Coke and saltines. Always saltines. The rest of the time I call them soda crackers. But when my dear loves are puny, they're saltines. Why? Because I am my mother's daughter and she ministered saltines to the sickly.
Fabulous. Beth Moore. Isn't she incredible?
She's
so great.
She's funny as heck.
Okay, this is from, I follow the New York Times on Twitter, and they posted this. New York City is seeking a director of rodent mitigation, a job that will pay between $120,000 to $170,000 per year. Applicants will need the drive to fight a relentless rat population, the posting says. It's a task that many have tried and failed before.
Listen, I can see why that pays so much, because that would be a horrible job.
The worst.
The last time I was in New York, I was in waiting for a subway.
Yeah.
And just the size of them.
They're like raccoons.
Is really shocking.
Yeah, it is.
It really is.
Because generations have been left undeterred.
Oh my gosh, that's awful.
They'll carry your refrigerator away.
Awful. Okay, Jarvis said this. How to fix soccer. Since we're all watching the World Cup, right?
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Number 1, the field is huge. Shrink it. Number 2, too many players on the field. Limit to 3 forwards, 2 defenders, and a goalie. Number 3, players should get to come in and go out whenever they want. Don't stop the game. Number 4, shrink the goal. Number 5, put ice everywhere.
That's great. Fabulous. Who posted that?
Jarvis.
Very nice. I follow this guy. Some people are just really great curators of information. I follow this guy. He's well worth a look. Jim Rose Circus. And so he's got this picture of this massive tiger. And he says this: in 1997, a Russian poacher, Vladimir Markov, shot and wounded a tiger and stole part of a boar it had been eating. 12 hours later, the tiger tracked down the poacher at his cabin and ate him. I mean, holy heck. What the? I mean, don't mess with Mother Nature,
okay.
right?
So that's a surprising end to that story. Brianna DeWitt posts this, and this was food for thought for me. She said, when you're single, a homeowner, and discover your washing machine is leaking, it's not just about the leak, it's also the loneliness of trying to deal with it all on your own, of having no one else who has a stake in the problem.
Yeah.
You don't think about that much.
No, everybody needs like a good go-to person, right? My appliance or my handyman who can come in.
I hadn't thought about, owning a house on your own and all of a sudden, like, there's nobody else who, like, has a stake in the problem.
Yep. Okay, Mark Coddington tweets this. If you're a college student who likes to nod intently at your professors while they're talking in class, just know that all of them adore you and think you are the absolute greatest.
Aww.
They want your attention, right? Yeah, I see you.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
The same thing would hold for your pastor.
Of course, it would.
Right?
It would. Every time I pull up my phone in church during the sermon, and usually, to be honest with you, it's because I'm going to make a note or something, I still feel bad.
Sure.
Because I feel like he doesn't know that that's what I'm doing. I'm looking at my email or something.
Right. You're playing Wordle.
BNS posted this. Now, this is a video, so I'm just going to describe it quickly for you. But there's a dog who's sitting outside of a screen door, okay? Except the screen door is open, but the dog cannot accept the fact that the screen door is open, probably because he's crashed into it so many times. And so every family member, including this 10-year-old girl, has to go over and pantomime opening the door until
come on in, baby.
Until the dog comes in.
Fabulous.
And he sits very patiently waiting until someone pantomimes opening.
I love it. 50 Shades of Way tweeted this. The Great Railroad Strike. Railroad strikes were in the news here recently. We've just averted one, apparently. The Great Railroad Strike of 1877 had the support of 100,000 workers after wages were cut for the third time in a year. Railroad barons used militias, the National Guard, and federal troops to stop the strike by killing about 100 people. They don't teach any of this in school.
And it seems like nothing's changed.
1877. How do you mean? I mean, people are dying over railroad strikes.
But I feel like the railroad workers really got shafted.
They did.
I mean, I appreciate the fact that nobody in America wants there to be a railroad strike.
No, of course not.
But how hard is it to give those guys 4 days off?
Yep.
4 sick days.
6 days.
4 sick days.
Yeah. It can't be easy work.
And that they could be able to schedule ahead a day off. Like the one guy said, if it's my daughter's birthday, I want to be able to just... Biden was supposed to be like the friend to labor.
Right. Well, here it comes up during Christmas time, so he's going, hold on.
Right. Everybody needs to get their Christmas gifts.
Right.
I don't know. I feel like... I think that's a bad look for Biden.
Sure it is. I mean, railroads are the lifeblood, along with trucking, of this country, are they not? Right.
Yeah.
So they go away. People don't think about the railroads. It's kind of taking a back seat. There was one time where everybody was acutely aware of the power of the railroads.
Right. So now they're like leftovers. Right.
Yeah, very much so.
Now it's a whole different thing.
Yep.
Let me just take a minute to recommend the Cultural Tutor, Tutor, on Twitter, if you are a Twitter user. He will school you in architecture. He will school you in art. He will school you in history. I mean, I can't even go into all the particulars of what he brings to the medium, but I'm telling you, it's worth being on Twitter just to follow the Cultural Tutor.
Excellent. Very good. Okay, this is my last one. Locally here, Virginia Montez, she tweets this. Again, living in the Tree of Life Synagogue City and hearing the things being platformed today, I just hope Pittsburgh's Jewish community feels a continued swell of love from a city that made a commitment to becoming and staying stronger than hate. Amen to that.
First, we decide where we want to go. Then we need to know the best way to get there. Hi, my name's Adam Barada. I'm the owner of Advantage Gold. We're the highest rated precious metals firm in the country. We teach people how to own physical gold and silver. Now, we've won the Best of TrustLink Award 4 years in a row because we educate our clients on how to buy gold and silver the right way. We don't pay celebrity spokespeople millions of dollars. We'd rather pass that value on to you. Call 800-900-8000 and speak with one of our experts. We'll send you a free gold kit along with my latest #1 national best-selling book, The Great Devaluation. Call 800-900-8000. That's 800-900-8000. Get the best information, the best process, the best service, the best value. Call Advantage Gold at 800-900-8000. Call 800-900-8000.
Advantage Gold is not an investment advisor or a tax advisor. Consult with your financial advisor before investing.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-555-2085. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-555-2085. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-555-2085. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-555-2085. 800-555-2085.
I just found someone the perfect gift. And when my friend asked where they could get it, I said only at Kohl's. I've been gift shopping there and getting Kohl's cash every day while saving on must-haves like sweaters from Croft & Barrow and Sonoma Goods for Life starting at $19.99. Cookware from the Food Network at 20% off. And cute booths from So and Elsie Lauren Conrad starting at $23.99. Plus, you could take an extra 20% off or save more with the Kohl's card. So get to Kohl's now. You'll thank me later. Select styles, 20% offer until December 11th. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
In those days, 10 men from all the nations will take hold of the garment of a Jew and say, "We want to go with you, for we know that God is with you." Join Messianic Jewish evangelist Rabbi Kurt Schneider as he shares authentic teaching from the Old and New Testaments, unfolding revelation today for your brighter tomorrow on Discovering the Jewish Jesus. Monday through Friday at 1:30 p.m. here on 101.5 Word FM.
At some point during the show, the course of the show over the years, we've talked about the world's oldest tortoise. Well, apparently a birthday has come up. Jonathan, yeah.
Jonathan, yeah. Mm-hmm.
The world's oldest tortoise has lived through 2 world wars, witnessed the rise and fall of the British Empire, and has just turned 190 years old.
Isn't that incredible?
How can that even be? Jonathan, the giant tortoise, hatched in the Georgian era and is the oldest known living land animal on Earth. I mean, there's a picture of him. He's absolutely incredibly beautiful. Apparently, he's blind, a little deaf. I mean, who wouldn't be at 190?
Right.
But I don't know. I love turtles because to me, the turtles are sort of like the last vestige in some ways, along with, crocodiles, of like dinosaurs, right?
Of course.
Of that lineage. That's just cool. We had
and
turtles.
they carry their house with them.
Yeah.
I mean, that's epically cool. You can trace his incredibly long age by looking online because there are photographs that people have with Jonathan going back all the way to when he was small.
Get out.
Oh, yeah. It's incredible. You have to see it. Now, obviously, there aren't photographs in the very beginning because
190 years ago, there was no photography.
There weren't a lot of photographs. But you can go back and see him. He lives on an island off of the coast of Greece, I think.
Yes.
And with
190
with like 3 other turtles. He's the oldest one. But yeah, he's been a mainstay. He lives on some kind of, I think it's the governor of the island. He lives on his property.
Like a reserve.
Right. So he's like an honored guest. He's the sage.
Of course he is.
190 for crying out loud.
Oldest living land animal, right? I mean, my father-in-law, or my sister's father-in-law passed away yesterday. John Calvin Rickers. He was 96. I mean, that's very old. He was a fabulous, fabulous guy. He was a preacher all of his long life. What a wonderful guy. But 96 years, when you think about
what
Mr.
was going
Rickers,
on 96 years ago?
Yeah. I mean, a child of the Depression. I mean, but 190, I'm not trying to equate the turtle with my sister's father-in-law, but just the age and longevity and time, how things change so quickly over the course of a life.
Yeah. That's so true. And I wonder if there's any generation that had to deal with the amount of technological change that generation did. Thinking about, we always used to laugh because my mom, who passed away when she was 88, when we would play telephone, like as a kid, or when she was playing telephone with my kids, she would like hold the thing up to her ear, and the thing up to her mouth, like like I don't know what the 1940s telephone. That's how she would play telephone.
No kidding.
Without thinking about it.
Sure.
That's what
we would do this, right? Put your fingers out on your ear and your mouth.
Right.
But she was holding the receiver, and that's just super cool.
Yeah, without thinking about it.
Yeah.
Right. And then I remember how hard of a time she had getting used to her iPhone.
Who wouldn't? Yeah.
Right. So I mean, I can't tell you how many tutoring sessions or crisis calls I took because of the iPhone.
Kathy.
Or her remote, which her remote and her television. She could never figure that out. But where she started and what she was trying to do near the end of her life, I can't even.
This huge leap forward.
Imagine. I mean, my dad went to Penn State. And in 1950, and he used a slide rule. He was an engineer.
Yeah.
And by the end of his life, I remember having a debate with him about whether Apple TV was worth it or not. And he also couldn't figure out Apple TV. But how do you go from slide rule to Apple TV?
Yeah.
I mean, I wonder in our lifespans, there won't be anything like that.
Who's to say? Who's to say what will happen? Right?
I just can't imagine it'll be as violent as it was then. Okay, listen to this.
Right.
Do you think, you mentioned the other day that there could be a safety deposit box in your name that has stuff in it?
Maybe. It's been a long, long time. And so they clear these things out. I mean, the banks.
Do they?
Yeah, they turn them over, right? If you haven't touched your safety deposit box or you've not paid your safety deposit box, then.
So, and what did they do with your stuff?
I don't know. Well, occasionally the authorities, the state takes the unclaimed stuff.
Okay, so that's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
So if you think that there may be unclaimed property or money that's rightfully yours, finding out could be just a few clicks away. I'm reading this from WPXI.com today. The website missingmoney.com is being endorsed by PA State Treasurer Stacey Garrity as an easy way for people like you, John, to search unclaimed property databases for 46 states, Washington, D.C., and Puerto Rico to see if any money is waiting to be claimed.
Really?
All claims for properties held in PA are directed and filed through the Treasury's secure unclaimed property website, which they give. 1 in 10 residents is owed unclaimed property.
Really? Okay, wait.
Okay, that's an outrageously high number. 1 in 10 residents has unclaimed property, and the average value of a claim is about $1,500.
Really? $1,500?
Yes. That's what I'm saying. I mean, that's really something.
All right. Well, maybe I'll check it out and find a little extra cash.
Sure. I'd be happy to do that.
Yeah. I mean.
Okay, so you don't think you would go back and do the safety deposit box again?
No. Don't take my word for it. Because what do I have? My important papers?
Don't you get concerned about a house fire or something like that that's going
I do. Yeah. Wait, so you're like committed to the idea of getting a safety deposit box?
I'm telling you, this is one of the things that wakes me up at 3 a.m. when I should be sleeping.
Yeah.
And I think, I'm not prepared.
All my stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I should have
I don't have enough stuff to worry
foundational family photos.
What if the bank
there?
burns down?
The bank could burn down? Well,
I feel like they have better protocols than I do.
All right. Gary, do you have a safety deposit box?
No.
Okay.
Do you have a firebox?
Yes.
Oh, see. And what do you keep in there without getting too specific?
Stuff.
Great.
Papers, passports.
Yeah, right.
That kind of stuff. Passports, birth certificates.
Important, valuable papers.
$100,000 in cash. That kind of thing.
We're coming over tonight and saying hi. Mm-hmm.
All right. Do you have a firebox, John?
Yes,
okay.
We have a firebox.
Yeah. Okay.
It's small.
Yeah.
Enough to, it's like, but enough to put some papers in.
Sure.
If my house, I don't want to say it out loud. I mean,
right.
It'll be horrible. You see people like that, they lose everything.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Might blow away with this wind.
Yeah, exactly. With this wind we're
secure
expecting.
that. Right.
You should secure all your valuables.
Are you going to go to the bank and do a little inquiry about that?
No. Well, all the years I was growing up, my parents had a safety deposit box, and periodically,
they'd go visit.
Every 5 years or more, my dad would take me there, and he would say, "Hey, just so you know, this is a safe. We have the safety deposit box," and then we would, it always felt very secure and a grown-up thing to do.
Right. Until the guys from Ocean's 11 came busting down through the
that was
ceiling.
way before.
Right?
Okay, that was way before I saw Ocean's 11. But you know what I mean? So you'd go into the room, they'd bring your box in. It was very quiet. They'd pull the curtain behind you. You got to open up, you know.
Yeah. Did your dad ever show you stuff?
Oh, yeah, all
Hey,
the stuff
check
in
this
there.
out. Look at
I
this.
knew all the stuff that was in
did
there.
you? Okay,
oh,
cool.
yeah. Yeah. So, you know, when it was time for, like savings bonds were in there.
Sure.
And the deeds to the house
The mortgage,
were in there,
right,
and all the the title to the car, all that stuff was in there. And then when they closed the bank, which was shortly before he died, we went down there and had to get all our stuff out.
Right.
I don't know. I felt secure in that. Maybe I'm hankering back to a simpler time.
What do you think it costs?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm going to look it up, though.
All right. Or just get one of those.
Let us know. Right now.
You get one of those big storage sheds, and you could put a whole bunch of stuff in there. Besides,
a storage shed.
Kind of the same thing, in a way.
How about a little drawer? I don't need a storage
Bury
shed.
it in your backyard.
Yeah, for goodness sake.
With your compost heap.
What era is this? I'm looking it up right now during the commercial break.
All right, we'll take a quick break, come back. We're going to reset for the 5 o'clock hour. St. Nicholas is up. We're going to talk about the top TV shows of the year and the week in review. It's the Friday edition of The Ride Home.
We are everywhere on your radio at 101.5 WORD FM Pittsburgh, at wordfm.com, the Word FM mobile app, iHeart, TuneIn, and Odyssey.
.com.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. The economy adding 263,000 jobs in November, down only slightly from October's 284,000 gain. Last month's hiring, though, down from the explosive pace at the start of 2022, amounted to a substantial increase. Bankrate.com senior economic analyst Mark Hamburg says the solid jobs report is not what the Federal Reserve wants to see as it tries to tamp down inflation.
On the one hand, this is a report suggesting that the economy is continuing to grow. It's good news for American workers. But yes, inflation is a problem that's still very much with us.
The unemployment rate staying at 3.7%. The European Union reaching a deal for a $60 per barrel price cap on Russian oil, a key step as Western sanctions aim to reorder the global oil market to prevent price spikes. This is SRN News.
So right now may be the perfect time for you to rethink how you pay for health care. And here's why. Not only is it open enrollment for a lot of people, it's also a time you can join MediShare and save even more than usual. And it's true, the typical family switching to MediShare saves $500 or more a month, which is obviously huge for a lot of people. But what's more, they like it. MediShare has double the customer satisfaction rate compared to health insurance. Double. There are 400,000 members. They've shared over $4 billion in medical bills, and it really is a great community, too. People encourage and pray for each other. And here's the thing. If you join MediShare Complete right now, they'll waive your new member fees, and you'll save an additional 10% off all of 2023. That's right. No fee to join, 10% off every month of next year, but it's a very limited time offer. You have to sign up before December 31st. Great savings, great health care. Find out more. Call now. 844-45-BIBLE. That's 844-45-BIBLE. 844-45-BIBLE.
MyPillow is excited to announce the original My Slippers are back in stock. Hey, it's John Hall. Last Christmas, you made My Slippers the #1 selling MyPillow product, and now they've added smaller sizes, larger sizes, wide sizes, and all new colors. What makes My Slippers different is the exclusive 4-layer design that you're not going to find in any other slippers. My Slippers' patented layers make them ultra comfortable, extremely durable, and they help relieve the stress on your feet. Wear them anytime, anywhere, and save $90 off with promo code WORD. That's only $49.98 a pair. You'll absolutely love My Slippers, and now they're also extending their 60-day money-back guarantee until March 1st, 2023, making them the best Christmas gift ever. So go to MyPillow.com, use promo code WORD, or call 800-391-0954 now. Again, use promo code WORD to save $90 on the original My Slippers. That's only $49.98 a pair. Quantities won't last long, so please order now.
How will you celebrate Christmas this year? How about being surrounded
surrounded by a giant extended family in a warm, secure environment enjoying gourmet dining. Sound good? Well, by this time next year, that could be a reality if you check into luxury independent living at the Village in Gibsonia. No large upfront fees and no long-term contracts can put living in a luxury condominium at the Village at St. Barnabas under the tree for you this year. Call 724-443-0700. Merry Christmas from St. Barnabas.
If you've ever read anything by the Puritans or other fathers of the faith, you know that their reverence for God was deep and profound. You can incorporate their prayers into your own worship time using the devotional Be Thou My Vision. This is a beautiful hardcover book that presents prayers, catechisms, and creeds from throughout the centuries in an easy-to-read daily format. Request a copy from Truth for Life at truthforlife.org/donate.
It'll be cloudy tonight, becoming breezy late with a shower. Tonight's low 46. Tomorrow, a couple of morning showers, otherwise cloudy and windy. Gusty winds can blow around unsecured objects. Will reach a high of 53. Temperatures will fall, though, to the lower 40s. Clear skies tomorrow night with a low of 23. Partly sunny Sunday. Will reach a high Sunday of 38. With your AccuWeather forecast, I'm Drew Shannon.
Welcome to another edition of The Ride Home with John and Kathy, live from the Salem Pittsburgh studios. And now here are your hosts, John Hall and Kathy Emmons.
Well, look at that. We were just talking about this website, Missing Money. And so during the commercial break, both Kath and I we put our information in. Mm-hmm. I got a couple of things in there. Something from Universal, which is probably a residual check, and from CBS, which is also a residual check. How do they get that?
Right. And where is it? It's just there for.
I don't know. I'm gonna make a claim on it. Right. It's got my name.
Does it say greater than or less than $100?
Greater than.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I paid off my house.
Nice. Okay,
What's
so
this site?
This is missingmoney.com.
Missingmoney.com.
Yeah.
You put your name in there?
Yeah, so I put my name in, and I've got nothing, it looks like, which is sad. Carlos Emmons, if you're out there, he used to play for the Steelers.
Carlos?
He does have something here, but it doesn't look like I do. However, I did look under my maiden name. And it looks like my mother had something.
Nice.
So, I'll have to look at that.
Make a claim.
I mean, it's under $100.
Okay, but still, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of exciting. Something's out there, right?
I mean, you just don't know.
No, you don't know.
Okay, I'm gonna put my my father's name in here.
Missingmoney.com.
Yeah.
And what do they say? 1 in 10 people have
1
something.
in 10 people.
I hit it.
I mean, that's incredible, really.
Very nice. All right.
So it looks like my dad also had nothing. Something comes up for my mother again, under $100.
Really?
That's the best we got. Now, I also did look up the safety deposit box thing.
Oh, okay.
And annual fees are extremely reasonable.
How much?
Okay, so listen to this. This is by major U.S. banks. Now, you have to decide how big of a box you want.
Right.
Okay.
Sure.
So say 5 by 5, 5 inch by 5 inch. So just enough to put like your passport.
Yeah. Is that the smallest one?
Yes. No, 3 by 5 is the smallest. Okay. 5 by 5 for a year, $40.
Oh, that's worth peace of
$40,
mind, isn't it?
If you go like 10 by 10.
Yeah.
Okay, so that would be, much larger.
Sure.
You can put more stuff in it.
Right.
$115 all the way up to $300, depending on whether you're at Chase Bank or you're at Columbia Bank.
Okay, very nice. Well, that's worth a peace of mind.
I mean, I feel like it would be,
Yeah, I think
don't
so,
you
too.
think?
Until Brad Pitt and George Clooney come smashing down.
Brad Pitt or George Clooney would give. Okay. So 7 items to lock up if you are interested in the safety deposit box.
Okay.
Your original house or property deed, valuable jewelry, okay, especially stuff you inherited it or whatever. Rare collections, maybe stamps, maybe coins. That's stocks or savings bond certificates. Social security cards.
Yeah.
Marriage certificates or divorce decrees, and copies of other important documents that if you need immediate access to them, that's not ideal.
Right.
It has to be stuff like your will. you might put in there, or your, insurance information or something like that.
You get one key? You think you get a key?
I think you get 2 keys.
2 keys.
7 items that you should not put in a safety deposit box because you should have them with you. With easy access.
Yeah.
Your driver's license, obviously, your passport. See, now this says you should have your will, your original power of attorney, your funeral or burial instructions, your safety deposit keys, and your cash.
Very good.
Just things to think about.
Because, in the movies, like, they go in the room and there's like all this cash, and you kind of go, holy smokes.
Right. Okay, so switching topics. How about the news about how TSA now wants to scan faces?
Okay, here's the weird thing. Okay, I saw this, right? So now the government is starting this new program where you go through, security. Take your belt off, take your shoes off, and oh, by the way, we're going to scan your photo, and now it's going to be on file in a national database. Okay, that's one thing. I was at Giant Eagle the other day in the self-checkout thing. What's your face is now on a video screen.
Okay, have you experienced this?
Yes, I have.
I did too. I couldn't figure out what was going on. It was at Aldi.
Aldi too?
Uh-huh. Yeah, at Aldi on McKnight Road. I was like scanning my groceries, and all of a sudden I'm looking at myself.
Just buying pretzels.
What is going on here?
Well, they want to do what they're doing in China.
Yeah,
of course
exactly.
they are, right?
And look how well it's going in China.
So it's slowly creeping in, but now the government in TSA, but Giant Eagle and Aldi?
Right. Why? I can kind of understand it with TSA because, of course, we all have an interest in keeping airplanes safe.
Sure.
Why are we doing it at the grocery store?
I don't know. Yeah. That's just
the World Economic Forum.
Gary, did you go to missingmoney.com?
Yeah.
Yeah, but there were so many with my name.
Yeah.
But no, you can narrow it down to your zip code. Yeah, you can do that. To your state.
Or put your city in.
30 different ones.
Yeah.
Come on, there's only about 8 million John Halls.
Listen, if 1 out of 10 people have unclaimed property,
I just hit it.
Yeah, then we should all be going to missingmoney.com to figure it out.
Because somebody's holding your cash.
Exactly.
Right? And who knows?
Exactly. Seriously, when you get all that big,
residual stuff.
Could you just remember?
Listen, I never made any money through residuals. I mean, really. I mean, sometimes I'd bring in a check. Literally, it would be 1 penny. They would send you a check, 1 cent. There's a bar in New York City where you go, if your residual check is under 50 cents, you give it to the bartender and they'll give you a free drink.
Oh, that's
funny.
And
the checks are all
that
over the wall.
That is really funny.
Right. But I was in a show one time, a Cyrano, and some guy came in. He was super pumped. I forget what the movie was or whatnot. He got a residual check, no exaggeration, for $60,000. 60 grand. He was like, yeah, of course you're going to be jumping up and down. So I remember going to, I wish I knew the movie. But there he was, because you get residual checks on, cable play, regular network play, worldwide play.
Right.
It can all add up to a big chunk.
Right.
Don Brockett, do you remember him?
Oh, sure.
He was in Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah.
Right.
I think he told me once that he got, every time Silence of the Lambs ran, he got about $1,200.
Get out.
Okay, now wait a minute. Now, John was also in Silence of the Lambs.
Well,
yeah. I got 33 cents.
Did you have a speaking part?
I had one line.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So seriously, how much? What
Don Brockett had a better agent than you, I guess.
I guess he did.
Seriously, how much money do you think you made from Silence of the Lambs?
Over the life of the film?
Yeah.
The day of the shoot, I probably got $1,200, and then from that, I mean, residuals, I'm not probably $1,000.
Okay.
There you go. Not much.
Our fan is
not
excited.
much. What the heck?
All right. Good thing you ended up in this line of work. When we come back, Frederica Matthews Green will be with us. We'll talk about the real St. Nicholas. A lot of Protestants don't know about the 4th century Christian who inspired all this Santa stuff. We'll talk about it next. Friday edition of The Ride Home.
101.5 WORD.
I won! Yes!
And we want you to win too. So sign up to receive our contests and sweepstakes update. Each Friday, you can see new opportunities to win. We regularly give out prizes from books, music, and merchandise to household items, even vacation trips or car payments. Stay up on all the fun. Subscribe to our contests and sweepstakes update, mailed each Friday.
Sign up today at wordfm.com/subscribe.
It's December 2nd. And I don't know why I'm surprised, but all of a sudden, like, Christmas is here. So if you've been thinking about your Christmas, your menu, your cookies, your parties, your gatherings, might we suggest the Spring House? Marsh is here from the Spring House to help all along. Hey, Marsh.
Hi, guys. How are you today?
We're well, Marcia. Now, here's the thing. The panic has set in homes and hearts.
It's December?
All across,
no one told me.
All across the region. And so why don't you tell us how the Spring House can kind of offload a lot of that stress?
Sure. And we can do a lot of it. So, we smoke our own hams, and they are amazing. Like, I have never tasted, and this is me hopefully not being biased, but I have never tasted a smoked ham like ours. We use real hickory wood, and we can cook it for people, or they can take it home and cook it. We're going to have turkeys again for Christmas, like we had at Thanksgiving. We have these amazing cookie trays that have 14 kinds of homemade cookies on them that would be like a great hostess gift that people could just take with them to a party, and they're already ready to put right out. So beautiful. Eggnog, chocolate milk. We're going to have chocolate peppermint milk. And then we have all the casseroles we'll have out in the store again, and people can order those casseroles online. We'll be starting that on Monday. So my son Donnie's working on getting everything online and taking as many pictures as he can so you can see what you're getting. And then hopefully we'll be ready by Monday, and you can just hop on and cross that off your list.
Fabulous. So people can call or go online, Marcia?
Well, they can call if they want to pick up something before the 23rd or 24th.
Okay.
Like, I know people like to get Christmas cookies, those couple weekends before when they're going to parties or going into work or whatever. So they can call and order ham or Christmas cookies or anything that we have for the month. And then, but for those last 2 days, we're going to ask people to go online and order there for that.
Fabulous. Listen, Christmas is coming. Don't stress. Let Marcia do it for you. Online, the Springhouse Market, springhousemarket.com. Thanks, Marsh.
Thanks, guys.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way.
Nick, what are you doing?
Well, Adam, Thanksgiving is over, so it's officially time for the holidays.
And it's time for our Legacy Box Cyber Monday sale, which means you can save up to 65% when you digitize your home movies and pictures. What an incredible reason to join the millions of people who've entrusted Legacy Box to safeguard their recorded memories.
Plus, Legacy Box is the best gift for you or a family member. It's what Better Homes and Gardens called the most sentimental gift to make this holiday season special.
And what Reader's Digest called a genius product.
That's because Legacy Box is simple and safe. Just fill and send, and you'll get your new digital copies of your treasured tapes, film reels, and photos.
So turn on the Christmas music and make sure to visit legacybox.com and shop our Cyber Monday sale to take an unreal 65% off.
Our Cyber Monday sale is going on now at legacybox.com/lbox. That's legacybox.com to take 65% off. Visit legacybox.com/lbox.
Trip to Europe. Visit all 30 Major League Baseball stadiums. Go skydiving. Okay, so you know what you want to do in retirement, but do you know how to get there? Tune into Your Retirement Blueprint with Kurt Knodik and Ethan Lane of Accurate Solutions Group, Saturdays at 10 a.m. to get answers to your retirement planning questions. Plan today so you can do the things you've always dreamt about doing in retirement. Listen every Saturday morning at 10 to Your Retirement Blueprint with Accurate Solutions Group. Investment advisory services offered through ASG Investment Management, LLC.
Well, they say that Santa Claus is coming to town. Santa Claus, you bring that up amongst believers, you get a lot of different reactions, do you not?
Right. People get all hot and bothered
Oh
about
my gosh,
it one way or the other.
False prophet. That's always the thing. Right? The real St. Nicholas, Frederica Matthews Green is back with us. Frederica has been a guest on a show over the many years. The author of the Jesus Prayer, the ancient desert prayer that tunes the heart to God, and welcome to the Orthodox Church. Frederica, welcome back.
Good to be with you again.
Thank you, Fred.
And Merry Christmas to both of you.
Yes, and to you as well. Merry Christmas.
Tell us. Go ahead. It's the season, and get some people pretty upset.
By mentioning Santa Claus. Yeah, you broke up just a little bit there. But by mentioning Santa Claus, it does upset people, doesn't it, Frederica?
Yes, sometimes it does. And I think it helps to realize there is actual history here, Christian history, going way back to the 3rd century and the 4th century. And those years, we don't really think about there being people who are living deeply committed Christian lives in lands like present-day Turkey.
Interesting. Okay, so as like most humans do, we take something good and then we kind of twist it and make it a mess. So to go way back then, tell us about the origins, the beginning of who Santa Claus and or St. Nicholas was or is.
Yeah, and I think maybe the first thing to start with is to realize that Santa Claus is a kind of abbreviation of saying St. Nicholas, St. Nicholas, St. Nicholas. So that's where the name actually comes from. And there was a real man named Nicholas who was a Christian leader about the year 300, before that and after that. And he became a bishop, and he was very much loved and admired. He was tortured by Diocletian at the end of the Christian persecution the Roman emperors were putting on. And the one other interesting story about him is that at the First Ecumenical Council in Constantinople in the year 321, St. Nicholas was there, and there was a heretic who was saying, Jesus is not God. He's important, but he's not God. He can't be God and the Son of God. And there was a lot of argument, a lot of debate. St. Nicholas went up to this guy and punched him in the mouth.
Wow, Santa. The heck?
So
Santa got all upset about it.
Bad
yeah,
Santa.
he was just fed up. He wasn't going to listen anymore. So what's interesting about St. Nicholas is that so many of the early Christians that we love and admire, like St. Paul, for example, it's because they've left so many writings behind, or at least they've left behind some great sayings or some prayers or a hymn they wrote or something. What's interesting about St. Nicholas is we don't have anything like that for him. All we have is stories about things that he did, showing how compassionate he was, how sympathetic he was, how he cared for people. There's the most famous story is the one about the man who had 3 daughters, and he could not afford a dowry for them, the gift that the bride is expected to bring into a marriage. And without a dowry, they couldn't get married. So the father was having the horrible thought that he would sell one of the daughters into slavery, and then he could marry off the other 2. So St. Nicholas, hearing of this terrible plan, went by the house one night, and he threw a little bag of gold up through the open window, and it landed in one of the girl's shoes. So in the next day, they didn't know who had done it or where it came from, but it solved the dowry problem for that girl. And St. Nicholas went back and did this 2 more nights, giving money to these girls so that no one would have to be in slavery. And that's where the tradition comes from of St. Nicholas giving gifts.
I didn't know that.
Giving free gifts, giving us what we need, and putting gifts inside our stocking or inside our shoe. The older tradition is that the children put their shoes outside the door, and when they open the door in the morning, they're filled with gifts and good things to eat.
I knew that about the shoes because that's I know that's popular in several Eastern European countries, but I never knew what the genesis of that was. That's really interesting.
Yeah, that's where it came from. He was especially associated with kindness to young people and to children. There's another story about 3 young students who were on their way to Athens to go to school, and they stopped at an inn, and the innkeeper murdered them and hid their bodies in a barrel. And St. Nicholas, who was traveling the same route, staying in the inn, he dreamed of this. He saw the murder in his dreams. And so he got up and he confronted the innkeeper, and the boys returned to life. He'd hidden the bodies in a barrel, and they broke the barrel open and returned to life. So this emphasis on caring for young people and saving their lives in a case like this continued to surround St. Nicholas over all these years. Like I said, how odd that we'd have no direct quotes And no scriptures, no letters, no prayers written by him. But he was loved so much. Looking this up today, I saw that in England there are over 400 churches named St. Nicholas.
Wow.
It just gives you an index to how beloved he is, especially all over Europe, but also in the Middle East and in the Eastern Orthodox churches.
So kindness and generosity matter, Frederica.
They certainly do. And his feast day is coming up this Tuesday. It's December 6th. So you might, if you look around town, I'm sure there will be churches, there may even be a church named St. Nicholas that will be having some feast. Or maybe tomorrow on Saturday they might have a St. Nicholas Fest where there will be games and prizes and good food to eat. Lots of St. Nicholas things are going to be going on over the next few days. So I hope your listeners, if they're interested, that they will look into that.
Our good friend Tom Soroka, pastor of St. Nicholas Orthodox Church in the McKees Rock section of Pittsburgh. So I would assume Tuesday is going to be a big day for them. We're talking to Frederica Matthews Green. She's the author of The Jesus Prayer, the ancient desert prayer that tunes the heart to God. Frederica, before you leave us, last time we talked, you were mourning the loss of your hearing from your bout with COVID, and it sounds like things are different.
They're so different. I'm so much better. I was reconciled to losing my hearing because that happens to some people, and you can't say, if it's my turn, you can't say no fair. So I was ready for it, but I was sad about it. And I went back to the doctor, and he said, just, keep doing the rinse and care for your ears and care for your sinuses. And I kept doing it, and gradually my hearing has come back. I think it's back 100% now. Wow. I'll be tested right after Christmas, so we'll find out for sure. But I'm having no awareness of hearing loss at this point. So maybe there were listeners who prayed for me last month when I was talking about this problem. I just give thanks for anybody who prayed for me anywhere, and I give all the glory to God.
To glory. Unbelievable, Frederica. So essentially, you joined us last time, and, you said your hearing on the phone was good because the receiver, of course, so close to your ear, but you essentially thought that you really were deaf forever. Yes. And when I went to see the ear, nose, throat doctor, and maybe they do this for everyone, he was discouraging. And he said, often this is permanent. I guess they don't want to get people's hopes up, Mm-hmm. And I think there is such a thing that the COVID bacteria attacks the auditory nerves specifically. So if you have a damaged nerve, that's, much more serious than just having water in your ears or something. So that was a possibility that I was looking at. Fortunately, in my case, it was like just a left behind from the cold condition, the cold and flu that comes along with COVID. And as that has passed off completely, the doctor said it could take 3 months. So to totally get over all of those cold and flu symptoms from COVID. God is good.
So
well, listen, we're so grateful.
Away.
We're really absolutely grateful.
So you must be wanting to go dancing and listen to music.
That's right. Taking advantage of all of that.
Fabulous.
Frederica Matthews Green, check out her book, Welcome to the Orthodox Church, An Introduction to Eastern Christianity. Thanks, Frederica.
Yeah, Frederica.
Merry Christmas to you.
Thanks. Merry Christmas.
You're the best. That's fabulous. The Jesus Prayer. We love this book. I'm telling you, we can't talk about it enough.
Coming up next, the best TV shows of 2022. We'll take several people's lists and say what we think about them. It's next in The Ride Home.
Nothing in this world beats real life experience. Now, of course, a lot of us have sent our kids to college. There's a lot of classroom work and theory and whatnot. But then, hopefully, there's a day where the rubber hits the road and your kid goes out and spreads wings and becomes part of the real life environment of what it is to earn a living.
And prior to that, the internship is what gets you ready, right? That's the time when you're like kind of in the work world, but not fully in the work world, right? And you're kind of trying to test your wings and ask the questions and
get some guidance
and maybe perform well enough that you could get somebody's attention later on and maybe get a job.
Right. Now, at Grove City College, the opportunity for internships exists, and people cement themselves inside of a corporation. And once you graduate, then, the possibilities are endless. On campus, people come to Grove City and go, we know the nature, the quality of these students. This is an A+. We're invested in these students because we see what you produce. Count us in as corporate partners.
So if that sounds interesting to you or something that might be appealing and a great thing for your child to strive for, consider Grove City College. Look them up online, gcc.edu. That's Grove City College.
MyPillow is excited to announce the original My Slippers are back in stock. Hey, it's John Hall. Last Christmas, you made My Slippers the #1 selling MyPillow product, and now they've added smaller sizes, larger sizes, wide sizes, and all new colors. What makes My Slippers different is the exclusive 4-layer design that you're not going to find in any other slippers. My Slippers' patented layers make them ultra comfortable, extremely durable, and they help relieve the stress on your feet. Wear them anytime, anywhere, and save $90 off with promo code WORD. That's only $49.98 a pair. You'll absolutely love My Slippers, and now they're also extending their 60-day money-back guarantee until March 1st, 2023, making them the best Christmas gift ever. So go to MyPillow.com, use promo code WORD, or call 800-391-0954 now. Again, use promo code WORD to save $90 on the original My Slippers. That's only $49.98 a pair. Quantities won't last long, so please order now.
101.5 WORD-FM Pittsburgh. On your smart speaker by saying, play the word Pittsburgh. And on your phone via the Word FM mobile app, iHeart, TuneIn, and Odyssey.
Hear the latest reporting and analysis on the big stories of the day on the Daybreak Insider podcast. It's top-notch reporting from SRN News, along with the sharpest insight from Hugh Hewitt, Mike Gallagher, Dennis Prager, Sebastian Gorka, and the voices of townhall.com. The Daybreak Insider podcast. It's your first look at today's top stories. Available at Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, and at SalemPodcastNetwork.com.
It'll be cloudy tonight, becoming breezy late with a shower. Tonight's low 46. Tomorrow, a couple of morning showers, otherwise cloudy and windy. Gusty winds can blow around unsecured objects. Will reach a high of 53. Temperatures will fall, though, to the lower 40s. Clear skies tomorrow night with a low of 23. Partly sunny Sunday. Will reach a high Sunday of 38. With your AccuWeather forecast, I'm Drew Shannon.
We do, unfortunately, spend a lot of time watching TV shows, right? For better or worse. Do you keep a diary? I never do this.
Yes, I do.
Of the things that you watch?
And so does Gary Dixon.
Really? Of the things that you've watched?
Yep.
That's so smart.
Because you forget.
Of course I forget. Yeah, so what do you have? It's like by your TV table or something?
Really? I keep it on my phone.
Oh, okay. The best TV shows of 2022. Now,
I've got the list from Time magazine.
Okay, I've got a list from the New York Times.
And then I also have the Rotten Tomatoes list,
Right,
which
and-
is the user reviews.
To me, this is like the best time of year because, people who are critics, books, theater, film, TV, they're all coming out with their year-end list. And you kind of go, oh, I didn't know about that.
Yeah, I never heard about that
Should have
show.
grabbed this thing. Yeah. It's super cool. I was reading something a little earlier today about the demise of the local critic. Now, think about the cuts in media. There used to be a TV critic. In every newspaper,
of
right?
Course.
I think Rob Owen.
Rob Owen.
For years was the TV critic.
The PG.
There's a theater critic, Chris Rawson, for many, many. Now with all these media cuts, the critics have gone away for the most part, which we are lesser as a society.
I'm sad for that.
Because they do all the heavy lifting in many ways. You may not agree with them, but at least there's a base to start from, and they go, heads up.
And it's interesting to hear what people think.
I think so, too.
Okay, so I'll give the Time magazine list. I'll go through it quickly, and then you give the New York Times list.
Sure.
I'm going to start with number 8, Dairy Girls, which is on Netflix, which I have to tell you, I'm hesitant to recommend it.
You can't recommend it.
Because the language is really, 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 really terrible.
It's an Irish comedy drama.
Yes. However, it is the producer of the show grew up in Derry in Ireland, and it's her real story about being a kid. And it is it's one of the funniest shows I've ever seen in my life. But If you watch it and you hate it, just send me an email and you can blow off all your steam. But Time Magazine does
and of course,
say it's
it
one
will
of the best
deeply
shows of the year.
resonate if you're an Irish Catholic.
Yes, it will.
Raise my hand.
For sure. Yeah. Okay. Atlanta.
I have no knowledge of that show.
Me neither. I've never seen it.
It sounds like it's a black soap opera,
that's what it
right?
looks like.
Yeah.
This is Going to Hurt, which is on
I don't know
AMC.
what that is.
That's a British import starring Ben Whishaw, who is a terrific actor. He's an overworked doctor in a public hospital. Okay, neither one of it. 4 Reservation Dogs.
Reservation Dogs, right? Okay, I've watched several of those episodes. It's set on an Indian reservation, and it essentially follows a bunch of young kids. I liked it, but it's one of those things I go, I'll get back to that, but I never do.
Well, they say it's number 4 for the year. Number 3, Severance from Apple TV.
You watched it,
which I would say is the best show of the year.
What?
In my list?
Really?
Yeah, I absolutely loved Severance. They're saying it's number 3. Number 2, The Rehearsal, which is HBO. It's a Comedy Central series. Don't know anything about it. And number 1, Better Call Saul on AMC.
Look, I watched Mad Men, and that's a spin-off from that.
Not Mad Men. Breaking Bad.
Breaking Bad, yeah. And it's a spin-off from Breaking Bad, but I've watched a couple of episodes. I know some people who just absolutely love it.
And you couldn't get into it.
And
I
love him too, Bob Undere.
Yeah.
No, just for whatever reason.
You couldn't get into it. No. Okay.
Okay, quickly, I'll do a list. The aforementioned Reservation Dogs, Abbott Elementary.
Oh, love it. I just watched it last night.
Did you?
It is there's not one bad thing about Abbott Elementary.
It's
That's
a sitcom?
how good it is, yes.
It's a sitcom?
It's about a public school in Philadelphia.
Really? Okay.
Inner city Philadelphia. It's
now,
wonderful.
one of these things I just don't know about. My Brilliant Friend on HBO. Do you have HBO Max? We have HBO Max.
No.
TV has become the world's flashiest library with adaptations of novels. So apparently My Brilliant Friend is an adaptation. Again, the aforementioned The Rehearsal, a shell game performed inside a hall of mirrors. Oh, I've seen this show. This guy, Nathan Fielder. It's a tough watch. It's a weird thing that he's doing. I've watched maybe 4 episodes, found it fascinating, but I found his manipulation of this reality and the contestants really kind of
disturbing.
Very much so, yeah.
Okay.
Severance.
Apple TV.
Yep. Honorable mentions. Barry on HBO.
Oh yeah, Barry was mentioned several. Yeah.
The Dropout on Hulu. Blackbird, which
you liked Blackbird.
I did,
but that's also disturbing, right?
Very much so. Yeah, we need to talk about Cosby on Showtime. Flawed but fascinating For All Mankind.
Oh, For All Mankind, I watched all 3 seasons of, and I'm telling you, if you like space stuff,
60s
space stuff, it is. The first season is just shocking.
But it's a soap opera too.
It got soap opera-y at the end, but boy, the first 2 seasons are just out of this world.
Okay.
No pun intended.
Very nice. Raised by Wolves, HBO Max.
Don't know it.
Here's a problem. Now you have to have like 15 subscription services.
Right, and there's too many.
It is.
There's too many shows to keep track of.
We are truly in the golden age of watching.
We
things.
are, and my husband is really after me to cut a subscription service. And now I'm trying to figure out which one it is. Because what's happened is now I really like a show on every one of them.
Of course.
So now what am I going to do?
You got to choose one. Maybe you go on that thing and find some extra money and pay for it.
101.5 WORD.
Playing Pittsburgh's favorite Christian music on the weekends with the best new Christmas music. New music. Behold from Phil Wickham and Ann Wilson. Come Home for Christmas by Matthew West. And O Come Emmanuel by Dove. The best new Christmas music.
Pittsburgh's favorite Christian music on the weekends on Word FM.
If you are 65 or older, you know this. Watching your hard-earned dollars fly out the window on healthcare costs is frustrating. Well, here's something that can really help, and it's worth taking a minute to look into. MediShare 65 Plus. MediShare is a community of Christians who share each other's healthcare bills, and it really is a community too. People encourage and pray for each other. Well, MediShare 65 Plus is a low-cost option for those with Medicare Parts A and B, and it fills in the gaps where Medicare stops. It's a great way to fight inflation too. You can lock in one low monthly price for up to 10 years. And it's easy. You can use any Medicare-approved doctor or get 24/7 telehealth access from the comfort of your home. Very worth looking into during Medicare open enrollment, which ends December 7th. If you join right now, your second month share will be free. So don't miss this chance. Call 800-PSALM-16. That's 800-PSALM-16. 800-PSALM-16.
What's for dinner? Burgers?
After last week, no thanks.
Avoiding foods due to fear of diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools? It may not be just stomach issues. It could be EPI, or exocrine pancreatic insufficiency. EPI can cause uncomfortable symptoms because it's a condition where the pancreas doesn't release enough digestive enzymes to break down food. But EPI can be managed. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor about your symptoms. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Are you ready to deepen your faith on a spectacular 9-day Mediterranean cruise? Join Alistair Begg in August 2023 to renew your vision, purpose, and connection with Christ as Alistair powerfully unpacks God's Word. Explore the biblical landscapes Paul encountered as he shared the gospel along breathtaking cliffside villages. Simply call 855-565-5519 or visit deeperfaithcruise.com for all the details.
Are you tired of exposing your retirement to stock market risk? How would you like the potential to participate in credited interest from market-indexed returns and limit the downside? Join Michael Bettolini for the Retirement and Income Radio Show, Saturdays at 11:30 a.m. here on Word FM. You can also call Michael Bettolini now for your complimentary customized Retirement and Income Radio Kit and Retirement and Income Radio book at 1-844-449-SAFE. That's 1-844-449-7233.
It's been another week. That means it's time for John and Kathy's Week in Review. What was everyone talking about this week?
Okay, I know this is not earth-shattering, but I heard this several times throughout the week, and essentially people were like, I'm talking about, it's December already? Mm-hmm. It's December. I mean, it wasn't like some big news story. Of course, you follow the calendar, you know it's December, but I'm sure 3 or 4 people have said to me,
right.
It's December already? How can that even be?
I know. I agree with that.
All right,
okay, except I would also say that people are talking about protests in China and protests in Iran.
Yep.
What was a conversation that made you think?
Monday, 4:40, we talked to Marilyn McIntyre about a spiritual autobiography and how to write yours.
It's really good.
It was a really interesting conversation. It made me go back and look at other people's spiritual autobiographies and the idea of, and perhaps the necessity of writing down your spiritual journey for yourself, I think, and also probably perhaps for your children or grandchildren.
Yeah.
It's a really great exercise.
Yeah, I think it would be too. And it made me feel badly that I don't feel like I have the time to do that. You know what I mean? I don't know how you have a job and do something like that.
You watch less TV.
Well, yeah, it's a good point. By the time I'm watching TV, I'm too tired to be writing my spiritual autobiography.
I got to go to bed.
On the same show, Monday, I picked 510. Our guest was James K.A. Smith, or Jamie Smith, How to Inhabit Time. It's his new book, Understanding the Past, Facing the Future, and Living Faithfully. This was a fascinating conversation with the three of us. It really was. He was on Zoom. You can watch this on YouTube at the Word Pittsburgh. It was Monday's show at 5:10, or you can listen to the podcast wherever you get your podcasts. But Jamie's accounting of how it is that you come to grips with things in your past, so you can be healthy now, and so that it can springboard you into being really open and effective for what God wants to do in your life. I'm very excited to read the book. Yep. It was a great conversation.
Jamie Smith.
So we picked 2 things from Monday's show.
What are you reading?
Okay. Listen, you turned me on to this. Talking to Strangers.
Oh, Malcolm Gladwell.
I mean, it's an audio book, so I'm not reading it, but, it's not really the same thing, but it is.
Oh, no, it is the same thing.
What a great, he's fascinating. The stories, the idea of what people say to us, how we perceive them, interpret them, what is truth. I love it so much. I'm only 5 chapters into it, but it's earth-shattering what he's talking about.
What about the audio that he includes?
Oh, the clips of... Chapter 4 it's like an hour long, chapter 4. It breaks open the Jerry Sandusky, Joe Paterno, the horrible story at Penn State. And it makes you wonder what actually happened and who knew what when.
It was so different than what I thought the story was.
Me
if you
too.
would have asked me, what's the Jerry Sandusky story, I would have told you something.
Here's what happened.
That actually is not consistent with the real story about what happened. I'm not
the story that Malcolm Gladwell's
right.
telling.
I'm not saying that there's a conspiracy going on. I'm just saying I was ignorant of the actual facts of the case.
Right.
And
Graham Spanier, Tim Curley.
And Malcolm Gladwell goes into a lot of the facts of the case that I didn't know.
It's a great read. Talking to Strangers, Malcolm Gladwell.
And you know what? I talked to somebody just yesterday, who read the book and said it's a totally different experience than listening to it. She said you should just listen to it because there's all that audio. It's a really different thing.
Yep.
So
first person sources,
Yeah. I am in the last chapter of Perelandra by C.S. Lewis, which is the second one of the space trilogy. And I don't know how it happened. I just never read this. I never read
I've not read it.
Yeah, I'd never read the Hideous Strength either, which is coming up next. So I'm just finishing it out. And
is it thick, too viscous to get through?
It's thick.
It's a slow read.
It's not thick.
No.
Like size-wise.
The intellectual heft to sort of slowly bite your way through it.
It is thick, and I'm not sure what I think of it yet. I have to take a good amount of time to consider it.
Yeah.
What did you eat?
Okay, so after last week's blowout, Thanksgiving, I'm eating every piece of pie in the history of the world. At one point this week, my wife went to the store and she bought a really good loaf of bread. And so now we're back to just the two of us, right? So she was like, what do you want? You know what we had for dinner, which was off the charts? A cheddar grilled cheese sandwich and an apple. I can't tell you, seriously. I can't tell you how satisfying that was.
Did you just have one grilled cheese sandwich?
Well, I did,
Okay.
and I regretted it because
you
I wanted
still
one and a half.
Yeah, for sure.
But it was seriously. I mean, we eat so much.
We do eat so much,
and it just hit the spot. I mean, how basic can you get? A grilled cheese sandwich and an apple.
Right. Well, I'm going to go even more basic than that, I think, which is mashed potatoes. The mashed potato recipe I tried on Thanksgiving, which I talked about on the air, was the single best mashed potato recipe I have ever tried, I've ever eaten.
Was that a listener?
No, it was not a listener. Okay. But let me just say, and I'd be happy to share it, it starts with baking your potatoes instead of boiling your potatoes.
How many potatoes did you bake?
12.
Shit, that's a lot of potatoes.
It's not, you know what? I thought it was going to be a real pain because you have to cut them while they're hot and empty
Scoop
them.
Everything out.
It was super easy. It was super easy and completely worth it.
Were you using a mixer at one point or something?
Well, you use a standing mixer to just break up the potatoes.
Oh, the rough. Yeah.
But once you add your fixings,
milk, butter,
you do that all by hand. They are peerless.
Yeah.
What did you watch?
Okay, so, I'm watching a lot of different stuff, but sometimes I really am interested in documentaries. I watched this really short 4-part series documentary called Pepsi, Where's My Jet? I mean, it's on Netflix. It's really interesting. It's a true story, of course, because it's a documentary about this guy in his 20s, John Leonard, who in the early 90s, Pepsi had this contest where they were giving away Pepsi swag. You had to give Pepsi points. So in the commercial, at the very end of the commercial, this kid flies a Harrier jet, and they go, Harrier jet, 7 million Pepsi points. So he's like, what?
As a joke.
Well, there's the bone of contention. Anyway, this guy goes after the Harrier jet, and it tells a story. Essentially what it is, in the end, is a story of friendship between this guy, John Leonard, and a guy named Todd Hoffman, and the lawyer, Michael Avenatti.
Oh, Avenatti.
Avenatti. He makes a big appearance.
As himself.
Yes.
As his
because he was one of these sort of
twisted self.
So there's these two sides, Michael Avenatti and this guy, Todd Hoffman. Mm-hmm. The two... I mean, it's a wild story. It's a great story. But essentially, it's about a friendship between these two guys.
What is it on?
Pepsi, Where's My Jet? It's on Netflix. Only 4 episodes. And they're all 40 minutes long.
Okay. All right. I just finished 1899, which is the newest product from Netflix, made by the German company who made Dark during COVID. And it's a story about people who are on a ship going from Europe to New York City in 1899. And they're a little upset and a little thrown off because another ship from the same ship company just disappeared 4 months previous. And you say, was it a shipwreck? Well, nobody knows because the ship just disappeared. And so the people are kind of talking about, oh, no, what's happened? Why? I'm a little nervous about this ship maybe. And anyway, all of a sudden, the captain gets a distress call from the ship, which supposedly disappeared. So he decides to turn around against everyone's wishes who are on the boat. He decides to turn around because he has to try to save the souls of the 1,200 people that are on the ship. And when he gets to the ship, it's empty.
Cool.
Dun, dun, dun.
I love
It's
it.
really good. It's 8 episodes on $18.99. 8 episodes I think I watched in 3 days over Thanksgiving break,
I love
which
it.
tells you how little of a life I have.
What hacked you off?
Okay. This hacks me off, and you've got to say it. If you consider yourself an American, and for a lot of our audience, a conservative, what happened with the dinner of Kanye, Trump, and Nick Fuentes
You got to be kidding
is
me.
wrong. There is no place for anti-Semitism and white supremacy. And you can't make excuses. You just can't. You can't say he didn't know, or just call it for what it is.
Right.
If you're conservative, you got to stand up for what is true and right, and stop making excuses about this. This hacks me off. This is just totally wrong.
Right. And that's exactly what I had on my sheet as well. There are a lot of things you can pussyfoot around when it comes to politicians or musicians
No, not sorry.
or famous athletes or whatever it is. I'm overdoing it. Like, this is absolutely ridiculous. We saw what anti-Semitism does here in the city. If we needed another reminder based on the Holocaust that we can all read about in any book you get out of the library, it's just there, as you said, absolutely zero place for anti-Semitism.
What was the best news you heard this week?
Okay, I have this car that I thought was dead. I took it in for a state inspection.
How many miles does it have on it?
203,000. My Honda Pilot, Mike and Rhonda Smith. Okay, so I took it in for an inspection. The guy says to me, this is what you hate to hear. Oh, this car's dead. This car is unsafe. You cannot drive this car. I was like, what? Anyway, I went and had a second opinion because somebody told me about a Honda specialist. And the guy was like, he looked at it and he goes, I can save this car. Let me do, he went online. He's a Honda guy. It's going to cost me a little chunk of money, but this car is going to live at least another year to see another day, and it's going to be safe and roadworthy. So I thought my Pilot was dead. It lives to see more miles.
Cannot believe the Pilot lives.
Fabulous. That was the best news.
That is very exciting. For good news, I would say that, since my parents got sick, which was probably 7 or 8 years ago, Christmas has never been fun. I've never enjoyed it. It's just really sad. And I thought I would never, ever look forward to Christmas again. And strangely enough, just a couple days ago, I thought to myself, I think I'm actually looking forward to Christmas.
Great.
So
that is really
I guess
good
that's
news.
good news.
Excellent.
What have you been listening to?
Okay, well, it's never too early for Christmas songs, and I love this, and I love this guy. This is Joe Williams, and the sound. So you're going to play some Christmas music. This song, fabulous.
He's just the voice.
He is. Just love him.
Oh my gosh. Do you remember seeing him on The Tonight Show when we were kids?
Yeah. The Mike Douglas show. That's
I love Joe Williams.
Yeah.
That's such a great call. Okay, mine's a little more serious though.
Okay.
This is Nicole Nordeman, who was just on the show this week.
Oh, she's tonight.
Yep, she's tonight at Memorial Park Church in Allison Park.
In an hour.
Live
7 o'clock.
concert at 7 o'clock.
Free.
Doors are going to open in about 20 minutes.
Oh, that's a great song.
Listen. It's such a wonderful Christmas album. She combines Fragile, Sting's Fragile, and with What Child Is This? And just the lyric of it and how fragile we are and what that baby meant. Beautiful. It's just such a beautiful idea. She's a wonderful artist. So if you're not doing anything tonight, go see
Memorial
Nicole
Park.
Nordeman, Memorial Park Church. There's still tickets available.
Turkey and stuffing, real mashed potatoes, sliced top round, Aunt Emma's broccoli casserole, chicken and gravy over buttermilk biscuits. Am I making you hungry yet? Hi, it's me, Marcia from the Springhouse. You have a special event coming up in your life, a shower, a wedding, graduation party, company party, anniversary event, or any occasion where you'd love to serve all natural, farm fresh foods, then it's time to give the Springhouse Catering Department a call at 724-228-3339. From your first conversation with Dawn, who will help you create a menu that's unique to you, to the beautiful, bounteous setup and display that my sister Jill and her crew create, you will be delighted. After every catering event, Jill tells our cooks, I wish I could take you with me so you could hear all the wonderful comments guests give us. Give us a call at 724-228-3339 or check out our extensive menu at springhousemarket.com for farm fresh catering from the Springhouse.
Word FM listening family, this is Bible League International, and we've spent the last few weeks telling you about persecuted believers praying for Bibles to be able to endure and persevere in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. We told you about Pastor Roussis, whose 3 sons were murdered by a terrorist group that hates Christians, but rather than retaliate with violence, they invited these people to learn about Jesus. 200 have come to Christ. They need Bibles in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. And in the Middle East, Pastor Yusuf and a deacon in his church were kidnapped in broad daylight. When the family could not pay the ransom, they killed the deacon, they tortured Pastor Yusuf, but with conviction today, that brother can say it's an honor to suffer for the Lord. Word FM and Bible League are teamed up to bless 5,000 Bibleless persecuted believers with their very own Bible. You've done it for 3,000. We have 2,000 to go by this Sunday. You know, at $5 a Bible, if we saw several dozen of you make your most meaningful gift, we would be at goal. Call 800-YES-WORD, 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 or give at wordfm.com. Do it by this Sunday, and God bless you for caring.
Marketing your business is hard. It's so competitive, and getting new customers is as hard as keeping your existing ones. We know it because we're a local business too. So when it comes to marketing your business and getting new customers, we know how to do it. Our digital marketing firm Salem Surround is built to create customized solutions to your business, not your competitors, just you. Reach out to us at salemsurround.com and we'll work with you to create those solutions that will increase your business and bring you new customers. salemsurround.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle, and my company is Blindster.com. I started Blindster in 2010 to provide custom blinds, shades, and shutters at affordable prices. Our blinds are easy to install and shipping is free. Don't hire an expensive professional. Do it yourself and save big at Blindster.com.
Listen on your smart speaker at wordfm.com, the Word FM app, iHeart, TuneIn, and on Odyssey. In your car or at home, too, at 101.5 WORD-FM, Pittsburgh.
It's Friday. It's 5:55. The weekend really is here.
Yes.
Isn't it? Mm-hmm. Looks to be not a bad weekend weather-wise for December, does it?
No, tomorrow's going to be in the 50s.
Yeah,
it's
I
going
like
to
this.
rain, but it's going to be in the 50s.
Okay, so things to do for the weekend if you want to get out and about. We went to the Market Square.
Oh, the German market.
That's a lot of fun.
I go every year.
Yeah.
It's just a wonderful thing. And also the flower show at Phipps is in full gear.
Handmade for the holidays. The Handmade Arcade Holiday Market is set for 11 o'clock to 7 o'clock at the David L. Lawrence Convention Center tomorrow, featuring handcrafted products, accessories, one-of-a-kind gifts, artwork, home decor, body products, and more, maker demonstrations. It'd be kind of fun to go. They don't talk about early bird tickets. $25 to get in to buy stuff.
Yeah.
What? You got to
that's
pay
what it's
to
like at the convention center, right? Those big, huge things.
You got to pay to get in to buy stuff?
I'd be overwhelmed by that the minute after I walked in.
Because it's just so
Just
much.
too much. Right, I can't. It's like I can't go to Giant Eagle anymore. No, I love Giant Eagle. I'm not saying it's just I walk in the door and I think, oh, it's so big.
Yeah, there's a lot there. All right, well, you can go to the Hip Hop Summit instead.
Okay, good.
Pittsburgh Cultural Trust Hip Hop Summit scheduled tomorrow from 2:30 to 3:30 at the Trust Arts Education Center on Liberty Avenue. Also, what's going on? Seasonal Sounds. Pittsburgh Concert Choral will present 3 weekend performances of its Sounds of the Season holiday program featuring wintertime favorites, traditional classics, and familiar carols. Concerts are 7:30 Friday, Trinity Episcopal Church in downtown, 7:30 Saturday at Fox Chapel, and 4 o'clock Sunday at Ingomar United Methodist Church. That's easily found online. Seasonal Sounds by the Pittsburgh Concert Choral. Also, there's a little piece of Shakespeare, the premiere performance of Pittsburgh playwright Nathan Wagner's Perdita, which will be at 11 o'clock and 8 o'clock Friday, the New Hazlitt Theater. The play follows Ethan Cole, a high school student struggling to navigate his senior year, and interruptions by the ghost of William Shakespeare.
Oh.
Right.
Have you been? I haven't even been to that New Hazlitt Theater.
Not since the public left.
Yeah.
No, it's been a long... Oh, no, I've seen some things. I've seen at least one thing there.
Okay.
I always loved that theater.
I loved it so much.
Yeah.
I remember my very first show going there. It
Really?
was it was so memorable. It was Galileo.
Oh, sure.
Do you remember that
They
show?
had the parade
Yes.
from the theater to the Buell Planetarium.
Yep.
Now they're both gone.
Yeah, and it was fascinating.
Yeah, it was
I've never
fascinating.
forgotten it.
Galileo. Mm-hmm. Yeah, such is life.
Okay,
Things
so
change.
for this weekend, you have a plan?
I'm going to do stuff around the house tomorrow, basically.
Okay.
No, not
I'm going to
really.
put my tree up tomorrow.
Are you? What?
Yeah, putting my tree up tomorrow.
We're going to do this super late. We're going to buy a tree again, but not till both kids come back from college. I'll be buying a tree probably on December 20th. Good luck with that, right?
Okay.
The
I
tree goes up.
didn't even have a tree last year.
Good.
So
I'm glad it's making
putting a tree up.
All right. Hey, thanks to everybody for joining us
Yeah,
here on the ride home.
Thank you so much for joining us this week, today.
Fabulous weekend. A little rest and relaxation. Some worship on Sunday. Get out there and be with your friends and family. And praise God, from whom all blessings flow.
The Ride Home with John and Kathy, a production of Salem Media Group.